welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling, and where shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today. Recording late again. I can't say I have a good reason to, to be honest. I'm not sure where the time went. But here we are. Don't turn away now. It's pretty hot right now. It's pretty warm. So, you know, forgive me if you feel air like blowing into my microphone. I'm literally fanning myself with my hand. Look, I do have a massive fan. Somewhat like a hand fan. One of the ones which like spreads out and wave, but I don't remember where I put it. So, good evening everyone. I'm here with a late night broadcast. Hope I can make it through this. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 12:05 AM on what should be Thursday, July 10th, 2025. What should we talk about? I don't know. Everyone seen that new Genshin Impact trailer? Goes pretty hard. There's new Honkai Star Rail trailer. It also goes pretty hard. All goes pretty hard, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm not really sure what to talk about. I'm using the Joy-Con, drifty Joy-Cons, because I was meant to charge them yesterday, and then I didn't. Excuse me, Apollo. I'm sorry. Apollo, excuse me. It's a game to try and throw them away, apparently. But yes, these Joy-Cons are so incredibly Joy-Con drifty. We're not even going to try and properly move anywhere. We're just going to sit down. But yeah. How's it going? I don't know, it's hot, and I'm not doing all too much at the moment. Well, I mean, literally, as of right now. I feel like in between. I feel like mostly I'm playing a lot more games than I anticipated. I thought I'd be drawing a lot more this month, but I really haven't. Mainly because I get back like pretty late, and then I'm just like, well, okay, you know, got a few hours. What am I gonna do? I'm like, oh, I don't have to finish playing games, but I'm like, I haven't played these like gacha games properly, I suppose, for ages. So it's sort of like I'm catching up on all the events at once. I finished with Endless Zone Zero, the new story patch. It's pretty good, I think. I'm interested to kind of see where it goes. It's I think it has some high moments, I'd say. But I'm sort of like tempering my expectations because it's kind of like set up for everything, really. But yeah, what should we talk about? It's a good question. Should we see? Is this Steam Summer Sales over? I didn't realise it finished already. It feels like it's just like come and gone in a flash, to be honest. I only picked up a couple of games, but so be it. Yeah, I'm not sure what to talk about. I'm just sort of trying to think. Let's see what's on the front page of Reddit. Maybe that will sort of prompt something. Uma Musume event is over. Nothing else saying. We're just waiting for Kitime Black, the most OP card in the game or something. Well, maybe not the most OP card, but a very strong one. A timeless card, almost. But yeah, what should we talk about today? I guess we should talk about a random topic. Sort of like searching my bank of stories to talk about while I sort of look around my room. I can't really see anything of note. Like, I mean, if anything, I'm looking over to my bedside table over here, just looking at all the random stuff I have on here. I still have my Gonki on here from Squid Game. I should probably just put that in the drawer, you know. I stopped like randomly playing that. It is a lot of fun though, Gonki. But it's also just like, it's also quite exhausting at the same time. Not exhausting per se, but it's like, I've gotten to the point where I'm very good at like the first part of it, but it's just the flip over in my hand and then the catch again is so insanely hard that I cannot consistently do it. That it gets annoying. So yeah, I've just put that away in drawer. You know, let's do a bit of tidy up. Things which don't need to be here, you know. This Nessie bookmark, I don't use it anymore because its head broke off. Pop that away. In this drawer. This top drawer, which is eventually going to become like a junk drawer or something if I'm not careful. So maybe I shouldn't put them all in here, but at least they temporarily will go in here. I feel like a junk drawer is a very sort of universal thing, isn't it? A sort of drawer full of bits and bobs. So what's a classic thing to have in a junk drawer? Elastic band ball. Scissors. Pritt stick. Or some sort of glue stick, I think. A random screw from you no idea where it was, but you put it in there because you were like, I'm gonna find out where that's from at some point. Probably like a USB cable, but like the old USB, like micro USB cable. Paper clips. I feel like actually junk drawers are kind of, for me, mostly stationary because that's the one that I had growing up. in our house. And as a child, it was just basically the sort of odd, the bits and bobs of stationery which didn't have like a defined place to go. Because you know, we had like a tin full of like pens and pencils and that sort of thing, but then it's like for everything else, like where do you put like a stapler? Where do you put the staple remover? Well, they should probably both go in the same drawer. Where do you put that like torch that you're meant to use in emergencies? Into the junk drawer it goes. It's really quite a smorgasbord thing. Hold on, you know what? Let me junk drawer. I bet people have like it's literally a Wikipedia article. Wikipedia's got articles of literally everything. Let's see the example of a junk drawer. How many of these things would I expect to see in a junk drawer? Actually, not a lot of these. I would not expect to see oven mitts in a junk drawer. But, you know, it's completely dependent on the person and the family. I feel like, you know, sellotape or some sort of tape. That's a given in a junk drawer. Paper clips, yeah? I don't know what, a pencil sharpener. Playing cards. What is it? Hand sanitizer? Okay. There's an interesting phrase on it. I don't know what these are. Beer koozies, maybe? Is that an umbrella? Gloves? There's a lot of gloves in this one. A junk drawer is a drawer used for storing small, miscellaneous, occasionally useful objects. It's the power of the miscellaneous category is too strong, because the miscellaneous category can hold way too many different things, but by nature of it being called, you know, the miscellaneous category, it's kind of meant to, isn't it? But it's a seductively powerful sort of force, in the sense that just by nature of a miscellaneous category existing, it sort of strips you of yourself trying to actually categorize things, is perhaps how I'd put it, you know? Does that make sense? Like, if you're forced to not have a miscellaneous category, you'd probably think about it a bit more, you'd evaluate how things should probably be categorized, and you'd find a fitting place for it to go to. But if you have a miscellaneous category, as soon as you come up with the slightest bit of difficulty in trying to categorize something, boom, pop it into that miscellaneous drawer. Don't need to think about it again, you know? That's a dangerous power. It's too, you know, it's basically a shortcut of too easy. But like, do you ever go through a miscellaneous drawer and be like, oh, you know, I can see an ongoing category or theme here, time to actually take things out of there? Or if there's something where like you create a different category later, you're not going to go through the miscellaneous drawer and be like, oh, you know, I actually moved all my odd stationery items out from a miscellaneous drawer. No, the paper clips are going to just like stay in there instead of moving out. Ain't that a shame? But yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's a very consistent thing. Let's see, typical contents. Small, commonly used tools. Screwdrivers, pliers, tape measure. Oh, tape measure is a really good one. Scissors, glue, see? Sandpaper, that's crazy one. Birthday candles. Birthday candles was crazy to me. Because I feel like birthday candles, not commonly used. That should be relegated to like top shelf of a cupboard sort of thing, you know? Pens, small, loose, hard to store items like thumbtacks, binder clips, and toothpicks and rubber bands. It's interesting because I read some of these, and some of these I'm like, yes, this perfectly goes into a junk drawer, like thumbtacks or something. But then I look at toothpicks and I'm like, that doesn't go in a junk drawer for some reason. And I think it's because when I was growing up, those things actually had like a designated place, which was not in the junk drawer. Like the toothpicks I can still remember was in this cupboard that we had full of like medical supplies. Why were toothpicks in there? I don't know. But rubber bands, that was kind of in the junk drawer. But then rubber bands kind of got moved, because then we had like a plastic bag drawer, like a storage kind of drawer, not of Tupperware, but of like miscellaneous ways of keeping items. And that's where the rubber band's gone. Batteries, safety pins, stationary crafting materials, leftover objects of uncertain or forgotten origin, like orphaned board game pieces. This is like a realist Wikipedia article I've ever read. Medication and bandages. I feel like you should not put that in a junk drawer. You should definitely have a designated place for that where it's obvious where it's going to be, you know? I mean, we had like a mini medical cabinet, I suppose. Sentimental value such as souvenirs and love letters? That seems strange to me. Because I'd put things of sentimental value in its own like sentimental value drawer or something, or box. Which is, well, I don't really know, to be honest. Is that good or is that bad? I guess it just sort of is, isn't it? But the junk drawers designation, it's a rather... I find it fascinating that it's got so much sort of staying power that it's got a Wikipedia article in its own sense. Phrase and concept of junk drawers started to appear in American literature in the 1900s and 1910s. A short story in 1901. Shall I space over drawers? I don't know, it's not actually much written on a junk drawer. I suppose that kind of makes sense because it's like, what else are you going to say about a junk drawer? But that's the thing, it's a dangerous thing to have, and a dangerous thing which I'm falling into. But I mean, part of it's because I only have so many drawers, right? So it's not like I can have a categorization of every single thing. You know, like where would I put gongi pieces? I don't have like a toy drawer or something. I have a box of toys, I suppose, like under the bed, but it's like far under storage because I'm like, who needs these? Which means that we get just tossed into a sort of easy to place drawer. That's the thing I had, like I had my shelving unit previously was like so unorganized and that sort of thing. Like I started out making it organized, but then some of the things I didn't use often enough. Like I had a little shelving unit just for like music, printed out music sheets and stuff. I didn't use that nearly enough, so it was basically just taking up so much space. So then I reorganized things after like a couple of years of it being like that, to organize it better to how I distribute things. And now let's see, like literally 4 of the 6 squares on it are taken up by makeup products or beauty products of some kind. Like one is all the bottles, mostly nail polish, and the other is like perfumes and my like spare makeup kit stuff. And then the one to the bottom left is like all hair stuff, and one to the bottom right is like cleaning up things, like makeup cleaner and cotton pads, stuff like that. Technically you say the bottom left one as well because that's got my hair curler and straighteners and other miscellaneous accessories like sunglasses in. The bottom right isn't. The bottom right's got my D&D books because I don't have I mean, this is my bookshelf, I guess, but I've only got like 3 books, so it's kind of unnecessary to have a whole thing with thingamajig for it. But it's also got my like umbrella and stuff. The stuff I bring if I need to go out somewhere, you know. That's kind of like a junk shelf, if anything. Well, no, I don't know. I think that's doing it a disservice because it definitely serves a purpose, or a much more specific purpose of this is where I put things to actually, you know, make sure I can take them out and about somewhere. But yeah, you know, I'm not gonna hate on the junk drawer for its existence, for being what it is. If anything, we made it that way. So who am I to sort of disrespect that? We in our lackadaisical nature, a procrastinator, is that how you use that word, procrastinatory nature as human beings, are inventors of a junk drawer. By nature of us being like, you know what? It's so much easier if we just sort of put everything together that we don't know how to tie into a miscellaneous drawer. But as I say, with a miscellaneous category, very dangerous. Because, you know, I'm not going to say that some of these things shouldn't be in a junk drawer, like orphaned board game pieces, that should perfectly be in a junk drawer. But things like sellotape and pens and stuff, that should probably be in like a stationary like box or something at very least. Maybe in the junk drawer, but still. I'm just saying that there's room for the junk drawer itself to even be organised if there is a recurring pattern of what things you might find inside the junk drawer, right? Like, I mean, there's definitely a stationary theme, and there's definitely like a tool theme. I feel like just, you know, maybe it's time to get some boxes, put them in the junk drawer, organise them like that. I'm a big fan of separators and organisers, but saying that, I still have never bought for myself, like with travel organisers, the ones that you put in like in suitcases and easily zip up things inside. I've been thinking, but I really got to get myself one of those, but I never have for some reason. Which really is a missed opportunity, I think. I went on a holiday with a friend, who I didn't met for the first time essentially on that holiday, and he turns out like vacuum seals his stuff when he packs it, and I was like, that's a next level of insane. I think because he had to bring a vacuum sealer as well, which seems a little bit crazy to me. But I would say, credit to that, that's the next level of organisation, and probably doesn't have a miscellaneous stuff. No miscellaneous luggage compartment. And that's what I'd say. Yeah, I don't know. Have I never spoken about a junk drawer before? It feels like some sort of classic miscellaneous topic I would talk about. Because the thing is, I bet a junk drawer is a very relatable sort of thing. Because it's like, oh, you know, everyone's got a junk drawer. But, you know, a small deficit, I suppose, of the fact that I'm the one talking about it by myself. But it is the fact that I don't know. If that is so relatable, because I have no one to bounce it off of. I had to record it and I had to wait for people to start commenting, being like, yeah, I know about a junk drawer. Speaking of comments, I've not also responded to comments, I think, for like 2 months, maybe? I should very much do so at some point. How long has it been? Probably. Maybe I should do it at the end of July. At the end of July is what I'm doing with lots of different things, apparently. How long has it been? Has it already been 2 months? My word. The patience of the people who actually comment frequently is incredible. Especially with how long you have to wait for me to actually reply. Sorry, I have just been realised for this entire episode I've basically not been talking into my microphone, so people are definitely going to complain about the fact they can't hear me again. That just kind of happens. Come on, it's late at night. It's past midnight. You gotta cut me some slack. I think right now I'll probably just round this episode up here. Conversational juices aren't flowing today. It's too hot. So I guess if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time. Bye bye for now. Oh, off I go.